Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's the Monday after NFL Week 8, and we're doing our regular call with SBR contributor Dave Golikoff, where he shares with us some things that he learned, an autodidact when it comes to NFL handicapping from the past card. Dave Golikoff, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks for the welcome.
All right, Dave Golikoff. Well, you know, this past NFL week, the Jets and Bears continue to suck, right? Tennessee, Oakland, and Atlanta all continue to suck. Atlanta did get the ATS cover, though, but, you know, of course, that was a classic Atlanta fold there. Seattle continues to look very iffy against the spread, and the Saints got a huge win. Are they for real? Is that, indicative of possible line value going forward? Their offense is showing some signs of life. What stuck out to you most from the past NFL card?
Well, I think I would stick with a couple of AFC West teams. For starters, I think the Denver Broncos really separated in sort of an underrated matchup of the two top teams, or two of the top teams in the AFC. I think Denver was really impressive in that game, not only offensively, but limiting what many people thought was one of the NFL's MVP contenders going into that matchup, and that was Phillip Rivers. Broncos look good all the way around. They've established a running game, and they have the league's best rush defense. The other team that really impressed me, I know this is a little bit off the map, but I think it's good betting value. I know you're always looking for it. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. This team was left for dead after opening losses to Tennessee and Denver, but this team's now won 4 of 5. Their defense is playing fantastic. And I think that's the key for, the Chiefs in betting them going forward. Running game, and Charles is healthy and working well. The defense is playing well. I think the Chiefs could be a good bet as early as this week and also in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the professional handicappers that I do, that I preview the games with, in general, had a pretty bad week. But two guys covered that game, the KC game, Troy West from allplayswin.com and Sean Higgs from njwiseguys.com. And both of them said they liked KC. And obviously, in retrospect, that might have been one of the best bets of the week. Do you think that that kind of betting value continues going forward for KC?
Yeah, KC's in a pretty good spot this week against the New York Jets. It's a big line for the Chiefs, but I think this might be a line that you want to lay the points. Actually, we don't really talk about teasers very much, but this might be a good teaser play.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about sharps using teasers. It's to cross key numbers. If you can get the Chiefs at 9.5 and then tease them under a field goal, I think that makes sense. But overall, this is a team that's, the defense is really what's picked it up. I think they've allowed something like 15 or 16 points in the last 5 games on average. Now you got a Jets team that comes to town to Arrowhead. It's a team that doesn't travel very well, doesn't do anything really, good as far as, the team from top to bottom. They can't run, they can't pass, they turn it over a whole lot. The Chiefs typically, this is Andy Reid's MO. Take advantage of teams who make mistakes, run the ball, play good defense, don't beat yourself. And I think they're playing an opponent that does beat themselves. So I think this is a spot where I would lay the points.
All right, you're not concerned though that maybe if Michael Vick starts, it'll be at least for 1 or 2 weeks a different Jets team.
Michael Vick starting, Jesus, no, it doesn't concern me at all. This is Michael Vick isn't the answer to this problem. We talked about this way before. Vic came into a game early this season and looked horrible. He came in yesterday, gave him a brief spark with his legs. And yes, he still has the legs, but he's working with crappy receivers, not getting much help. The offensive line sucks. And don't forget, Vic is a turnover machine. Maybe not through interceptions as Geno is, but Vic has a ton of fumbles in his career. We saw more of them yesterday. Just, he doesn't secure the ball when he runs. The Jets actually had a couple opportunities to get back in the game and failed to do so. I also think, and Pete, this is worth mentioning, is that there's a power struggle going on right now between Geno Smith and Michael Vick, the head coach, and the locker room and the front office. Don't forget, John Idzik is the guy who drafted Geno Smith, and he's going to fire Rex Ryan at the end of the year. Ryan is basically giving him the FU and saying, hey, we're starting Vic right now because we need to win games and I need to start and I need to save my job. But I think a lot of people on the team know the future is Geno if he's good at all, and they're not going anywhere with Vic. So this is a locker room that's torn up. It's a front office that's torn up. Mistake-prone team. I would not be betting them with the points here.
All right. Is there anything else you want to share with us that you learned from NFL Week 8?
I would be happy to touch upon Seattle again. I think it's worth mentioning. I watched this game from start to finish. You know, this is a team that's going to be 6-3, like it or not. They got a couple winnable games coming up. This is a team that should have won this game by a lot more. And to me, Seattle, you take a look at the numbers, they all look good, you know, as far as ranking, offense, defense, stuff like that. It's just a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Yesterday, dropped interceptions. Russell Wilson misses an easy touchdown pass that he makes 99 out of 100 times, talking about a wide open guy. Fumble in the red zone, interception in the red zone to end the first half. I mean, they could have easily won something like, you know, they could have been in the 20s in scoring, and they failed to do so. This still looks like the 2012 Seahawks more than the 2013 Seahawks. But if they can iron out a couple of issues, and I think they can against Oakland and against the Giants the next couple of weeks, get well, I think this will be a playoff team to still be reckoned with.
All right, that's interesting. Well, so reportedly the Sharps were on Carolina against Seattle last week, and that was obviously a winning pick. And then, yeah, the next 2 weeks are going to be a little bit odd because the lines are going to be so huge. They're minus 15 this week right now against Oakland and then against the Giants. After the Giants game, though, so you expect Seattle to actually maybe have betting value on?
Yeah, I do. I think that, betting value will be tough because I want to see what happens these 2 weeks. I think, you know, if they blow out the Raiders and the Giants, everyone's going to say, hey, they're back, and you're not going to see that betting value. But just as a team, I think that if they can do that, they will be offering betting value because they're going to be a contender. They're going to be, sort of regain that swagger. I know that's kind of ambiguous what I'm saying, but essentially they need 2 good get-well games. That will hurt their lines because perception will be that they will be back. You're not going to get the value that you maybe would have otherwise. But I think that's what they need, and I think that's if they regain that swagger, they're going to be a good team to bet on down the stretch of the season. I know that's really fucking confusing, but
all right. Well, no, thanks for all your thoughts on this, Dave Golikoff. We'll talk to you again next Monday.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.